So here we are at Cedarvale Station, formerly Eglinton West Station. The name is being updated on all the signs as we speak. They got these fun signs up here about crossing the island faster. But over there we got people waiting to cross the road. You'll see people kind of up ahead here, crossing over there. You might ask yourself why, if we built this station, are people still waiting to go this way to get to the station? So let's chat a little bit about how Cedarvale is functional, but not particularly user-friendly. Sign up reminding everybody about the name change. And to be fair, some people are using this tunnel. Some of it is inertia. But the main reason people aren't always using this tunnel comes down to a few design decisions. Now, the big design constraint for the designer is this lump up ahead of us. So we're going to give them a buy on that. And it's basically because this big lump is the tunnel or the box for line 1. This has been here for about 40 or so years now. They didn't really have any choice but to accommodate it. If they were to actually try and move it, they would have to take it deeper than the Eglinton crosstown. That project would have made the B1M long before the crosstown taking forever did. Over here we got the elevators down to line 5. And to the left or the right of the upper platform, you've got these escalators and stairs that go down to the lower vault. But they don't really align with anything but the staircase. You've got to double back if you want to take the escalator down to line 5. Platform down there waiting for the line to open. This is the south side entrance, and we'll come back to this. But the first thing I want to show you is how you would actually get to the bus terminal from here. Because yes, you can actually get to the bus terminal from here, but they didn't really do it in a way that would make it convenient for anyone. We also have a bunch of hot dog stands that I presume will eventually have tenants. A lot of open air here. Up there is the concourse that goes across Allen Road directly. Again, we kind of have a drop ceiling here, but it's mostly a void above it from looks of things. Occasional pipe going across the bottom of the building. Oh, that door is heavy.
There's no subway service on the portion of Line 2 between Jane and Kipling stations due to track work. Shuttle buses are running. Check ttc.ca for more information.
So this brings you out onto the old Eglinton platform. And now to get to the buses, when they're working, you take the escalators up. And you end up at the bus platform. Now there's also an elevator just a little bit further along. But this is why anybody who wants to take the bus is not going to come this way. It's easier to wait for the lights. So it's functional, but it's not convenient. Because you have to go down into that vault, you have to double back up north, and then you got to come back up these escalators to get to the bus platforms. Or you could just cross the road and walk through the doors. And even coming to Line 1 is a bit of a detour, right? It's not straight and convenient. One thing they could have done to make it a lot easier to access the concourse from Line 1 would be if they had run a ramp up the left or the right side of this to that concourse. We're really only at about 30 to 40% of the way to that concourse where we're standing right now. It would have been really easy to just run a parallel ramp up there and allow people to directly exit from Line 1 to the concourse and use the left or right exits to get out. Not only that, but if we had that ramp there, people could come back down and basically walk straight into Line 1 from the concourse instead of having to go to the left or right and take the stairs down and then turn around and go back north to go to Line 1, which is a little bit awkward. It's not a natural movement, even if it only adds a few seconds. And they had the space to really do this, because if we look above here, the ceiling is basically a drop ceiling. There's nothing up there but pipes as near as we can see. But instead, all we really have is this window. Coming from the concourse above, have to loop around and head north. And all this space in here is just wasted space above us. We don't really do anything with it. They could have very easily on this end also added elevators that took you right up to the bus level. New platforms down there. Every now and then you'll see a LRT go by as they continue testing the service. But again, we're down in this vault. These stairs are way off to the side. Again, they align with those stairs, but they don't align with the escalators at all. Now, this south side entrance wasn't in the original design plans. The community feedback was that they wanted a south side entrance because crossing over Eglinton above us during rush hour can be an exercise in fun. So whoever designed this basically provided the bare minimum possible entrance. We've got multiple flights of stairs on this side. No elevator access, no escalators. You've just got to walk up this deep well. And not only do you have to walk up it, it doesn't actually connect to the concourse that goes across. So to use this just across the road, you actually have to pay to enter the station. Which means it's less convenient than it could have been. If they had opened this up into the concourse level, the community could have used this just to cross the Allen. And they wouldn't have to wait at the lights or the intersections here, which are kind of notorious for bad drivers. Because the problem with this intersection is there's way too many people that want to use it and not enough capacity. So people get impatient and stop paying attention to crossing lights and stuff. So you've got bus passengers still having to cross the road there, and now we're there. Because it makes no sense for them to go all the way underground and come back up. There isn't a smooth movement through here. And that's a missed opportunity. And it's not particularly shocking that that's the case. Because this was all built under a fixed price contract where the company building this had to deliver everything within a fixed budget, and so what you get is minimum viable. You get functional, you don't get good. And when you ask them to modify the design, like when they added in the extra stairs over there, you get functional, you don't get good. Now, the reason why there should have been an elevator, at least in that set of stairs, is if you go down here, there's 2 old age homes. Well, 1 old age home and a seniors living facility. And now to actually, if anybody with a walker or a wheelchair wants to go to the subway, they've got to get over to the north side, because the north side is the only side with elevators on it. When, if the station over there had an elevator, they could just continue down Allen and take the station in. And it's short-sighted design. I got asked to add something, and I'm just going to add it without asking any questions about why I'm being asked to add it, what I might be able to accomplish by doing it a different way. So, in short, this is functional. But it's not particularly good. Right? And for some reason, this end gets an elevator and stairs, but no escalator. But the far end gets an elevator, escalator, and stairs. Not sure why that is. I'm not sure why either end needs elevators or escalators. They probably could have just done loop back ramps that brought people down to the lower level. It would have been more accessible and easier for everyone. But for some reason, they decided to put stairs at both ends of this. So how could this have been better? Two ways. One I already mentioned. Actually, three ways. And two I've already mentioned. Add an entrance here with a ramp that goes down into line 1. Do the same on the other side. Shift these stairs to the right on both sides. This really feels like they originally ended to put gates here and over there, and then people would come in and immediately take a left into there. When someone said, you know, it'd be really great if we could just walk through here, they shifted to this design. And now that's in a bad spot, that's in a bad spot. Next thing, the south side entrance should be coming out level with this concourse. It could have been right in the middle of those dots. And then you shift these gates to the left and the right, and you put them back on there and there, and things would be better. The last thing, and it's important to remember that what's above us was open to the surface. They had full ability to modify all the way to the surface. Even right here, although the box is below it, they could have put in stairs, escalators that went straight up to the bus terminal. And all of a sudden, now you've got this centerline concourse going east, west, to the south side. People would be able to go up to the bus station easily, down the line 1 easily, take a right to line 5, and the station would be a lot more usable than it is right now. But this is the downside to so-called P3 partnerships. If you don't explicitly call out exactly what you want, you get what they like to refer to as MVP, or minimum viable product. Why don't we have ramps down to line 1? Well, we only need to prioritize the movement from line 5 to line 1, And if we put some escalators in, people can get around and still get to line 1, so that's okay. Why don't we have elevators near line 5 that go all the way up to the bus platform, or an escalator or stairs that go all the way up to the bus platform from this concourse? Because you can go up the tunnel to line 1 and take the escalators up. It's going to be super fun when a line 5 train and a line 1 train come in such that the passengers from both are trying to go up that escalator. It's going to be super jammed, especially as traffic increases on line 1. So that's what you have to take into consideration when it comes to P3s. If you want good, you have to specify good. And that's why a lot of countries don't do P3s the way we do them in Canada. In a lot of countries, what they do is the government designs, or a government agency designs what it is that's going to be built. They make sure that they have the requisite knowledge to do that. And then the contract goes out to the private sector to actually do the building. And that's how you ensure that you get good. So that's my critique of Cedarvale Station. Does it work? Yep. But there's a lot of ways it could have been better if they put some more thought into how people would move through the station.